Shelley Sterngrage with Microsoft, and I want to welcome you to Civic Chat, Networking Our Neighborhoods. You can follow us on meetadvisors.com. Our guest today is John Flavin with the Chicago Innovation Exchange. John, it's great to see you.
Great to be here. Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you for coming. So tell everybody about Chicago Innovation Exchange.
Well, Chicago Innovation Exchange is a brand new initiative. It's an innovation campus on the south side, 53rd Street and Lake Park Boulevard, 34,000 square feet of renovated space above a beautiful theater where we're incubating companies from across the south side. Certainly many emerging from the University of Chicago. We manage 2 national laboratories, including Argonne and Fermilab, and so great technologies coming out of those institutions, but also some great business concepts coming out of our entrepreneurs from the south side. So within that Chicago Innovation Exchange campus, we have space to incubate companies. We have a co-working environment. We are now up to 600 members.
Whoa.
We're incubating 12 companies. We're going to be doubling our size when the Fab Lab opens here in the next several weeks, where we'll offer about 10 new companies slots for incubation as well. We also have an innovation fund, a $20 million fund that we're investing into some of these proof of concept projects that we hope will emerge into companies that are transformational in terms of the products that come out, the job creation opportunities that we hope will ensue thereafter, and very excited about all the enthusiasm that we're seeing across campus and across the south side to create new businesses to address our pressing urban and national challenges.
So this is amazing what's been going on with the Chicago Innovation Exchange and the focus on the south side and the focus of the University of Chicago to really expand the economic development, throughout the south side and the communities that it supports is really terrific. Let's dig deeper into a couple of things that you brought up, because you brought up a lot of stuff going on there. So let's talk about a little bit about the entrepreneurs that you have in there right now. Can you tell me about some of the startups that are there?
Definitely. We have a focus around entrepreneurship emerging in the energy space. So we have a couple of new battery companies that are getting their start at the Chicago Innovation Exchange. We have some Southside entrepreneurs that are developing a new law platform online. They were the winners of the Southside Pitch Plan competition earlier this year. They're incubating in our space. They've just gone live. They've got an Indiegogo campaign underway. They're offering the ability to provide law services and estate planning to low-income families in urban marketplaces, certainly in the city, but then around the country as they grow and scale.
Fabulous.
Yes. There's certainly a lot of areas that we focus on in terms of healthcare, given the medical center, so new drugs, new devices, and new therapeutics as well.
So that's terrific, and you mentioned the Fab Lab coming, and obviously there's so much focus in Chicago with UI Labs and the digital manufacturing. So let's dig a little bit deeper about manufacturing and advanced manufacturing and what you're looking at bringing to us very, very soon through the Fab Lab.
Well, prototyping is so important to businesses as they get started, and having 3D printing capabilities, laser cutting, CNC machines, the ability to be able to prototype and develop that concept and show it to people is becoming increasingly critical. And of course, these tools are not only useful in terms of developing the prototype, but at scale are being made to be very useful in advanced manufacturing. So as such, with that platform, not only are we offering the opportunity for users coming out of Argonne developing new battery technologies with the new $120 million grant to develop a joint center for energy storage research, which will create new battery concepts, and companies will incubate using the Fab Lab in that concept. But at the same time, we're woven into the neighborhood. We will be welcoming people from the neighborhood, whether it be students or entrepreneurs that are getting into 3D printing for the first time, to be able to develop their own concepts and their own prototypes so that they can go on and develop technologies in this cutting edge area known as advanced manufacturing.
So let me see if I get this right. So if I am in the general neighborhood on the south side, and I could be a student, I could be an adult, I could be somebody just interested in 3D printing, you'll have equipment for me to go in and to play with? I mean, how does that work?
Yeah, well, we're going to organize programming. So the equipment, in the sense that, in getting started with anything, you want to have some instruction. So we have an outstanding new program manager that's helping us build the fabrication laboratory. As I mentioned, will come online soon. But part and parcel to that is, how do you use the equipment? What would you use it for? What are the concepts? Design thinking is such an important new field and area of expertise that this platform will also demonstrate as well. So when people come in, yes, it's true that it could be a researcher coming out of University of Chicago. It could be an engineer coming out of the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign with whom we have a partnership. It could be an area entrepreneur that's just getting started for the first time. But when they walk in the door, they have kind of a platform to work from and a trainer and some programs to get started.
A guide.
Exactly.
That's great. That's great. So you've mentioned Argonne. You've mentioned the University of Illinois. You're obviously affiliated with the University of Chicago. Talk about your partnerships, because that's one of the things about the Chicago Innovation Exchange that I think is really unique. I think you've been role model in how you are, I'll use the term agnostic, in the way you reach out and embrace. Can you just talk about that philosophy a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's open source, and it really, to be meaningful in the marketplace, you need to be building critical mass. So if we can build an open community that draws the best and the brightest in these areas that we're developing expertise, we're developing critical mass. When you develop critical mass of talent, you draw in capital, and at the same time that you're doing that, you're drawing in larger company support. So a key part of the exchange part of the CIE is the ability for new innovators to be able to meet the marketplace. The marketplace is represented by companies, and the best companies want to access that new talent, those new ideas, and so the exchange offers that platform. So we're developing partnerships with places like Microsoft, with Cisco, with AbbVie, and other concerns in the different sectors where our companies are developing and growing. And we're really, as an entrepreneur myself, having built several biotechnology companies without the benefit of a CIE, the value of the CIE and the intense training and exposure and connections to the marketplace, those corporate partners, the VCs, the service providers, oh my God, I just wish I would have had those types of resources. But again, at the end of the day, it's building those partnerships that need each other. The entrepreneur needs the company needs access to the entrepreneur, and weaving all through of this is, of course, the new products that will emerge from those partnerships that we're developing.
That's terrific. So with the university, I know you hold many educational programs and community type programs. Can you give us just a couple examples of some of the things that a person can go to at the CIE, even if you're not an entrepreneur?
Yes, we offer membership at $50 a month, so we try to keep that barrier of entry very low. And for that membership, you're able to use the co-working space from 6 a.m. till 1 a.m. during the week, 24/7 on the weekends. But most importantly, you can access the programming. We've run 120 events since opening in October. And the events range from workshops teaching people how to get a grant, how to license a technology, how to write a business plan, how to raise capital. But it also includes having, famous alumni come back and tell their story. The founders of Grubhub telling how they did it from startup to IPO. But then also, inspirational stories, challenges that we offer, like the one we did with Chicago Department of Public Health, the Health Key Innovation Challenge with them, where we attracted a lot of multidisciplinary teams from across the city to compete and try to address some of the health challenges that we see here in Chicago. So that programming is really the rich draw that brings people together in a kind of an organized fashion. But the serendipity, the interchange, is what really makes the diversity of what we offer at the CIE, the true diversity of not just talents and backgrounds, but gender and ethnicity. It really is a melting pot of opportunity where these new diverse inputs are going to create some really amazing new kinds of outputs and companies.
See, and I think it's the layers of that diversity, because Chicago is a city of immigrants, it's a city of many personalities, a city of many neighborhoods, and I think it's by being that centralized place and space where people can come together and learn from each other and collaborate and convene. I just think it's a terrific, terrific program you guys have established.
And just last week we had, working closely with World Business Chicago and the CASE program we run with our partner, the Office of Civic Engagement within the University of Chicago, a platform called UChicago Local, where we bring in outside entrepreneurs from the South Side that are looking to increase their scale and capacity to sell more goods and services to large organizations as they grow and develop. And in doing that, they hire more individuals and talent from the South Side. So we do these boot camps week to week, where we attract members of the community that are getting coached by boot camp counselors that are providing them background on how they grow greater scale, increase their revenues, and sell more goods and services. That's the organized side of things, but then as they recess and walk out in the co-working space in the coffee shop, they're meeting other people in the community and developing new concepts just by being physically present in the same space. That's really fun to watch.
That's terrific. That's terrific. So if I want to learn more about the Chicago Innovation Exchange, can you tell our viewers where to go and how to find you?
Yes. So it's easy. You know, to reach me, you can send me an email at jflavin1, the number, at uchicago.edu, or visit our website, which is chock full of information, cie.uchicago.edu, and sign up for our weekly newsletter that will tell you all about the program that we have every week, who's coming, what they're talking about, and what might be good material for you to plug into as an up-and-coming entrepreneur.
That's terrific. John, thanks so much for coming. Congratulations on what's going on at CIE.
It's a pleasure.
Great to watch.
It's an exciting time. Thank you.
It is. Thank you.